This truck's gonna be a lot like a Mullet. A lot of business up front, get her running, get her going, and then a party in the back. Stay tuned. All right, guys, the other thing I need to do in this video, if not this one, then maybe next week, is get the nose mounted. I'm gonna have to build a bunch of braces, get a bunch of metal. I could run it without, it looks kind of cool without, but I want the nose on it, I want the hood. I got a really cool hood ornament. I'll show you guys later, or show you in the next episode. Also, I'm gonna make a metal run today to get metal to obviously lift this up, get this mounted on. I don't really want to totally mount it yet, just get it to where I need it, build all the brackets for it, because I do need it removable so that I can finish up the steering shaft, brakes if there's any issues. I don't think there is, but if there is, tighten all this down. And then the radiator core support obviously will be the same thing that holds this on. I got to trim all this out. We got a lot to do. Let's get to work. Walking over here to the nose, I need to cut this stuff out here to get this. The radiator fits between here, and then I can build the core support and have it match up here where the original one used to bolt. I'll figure something out. I'm not even going to give you guys a plan because I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll figure it out as I go, and then I'll tell you about it afterwards. Bingo. Okay guys, as you saw, I was able to get that trimmed up. I cut off the metal chunks, or the inner fenders here. The reason I didn't unbolt them is the bolts are too rusty to get out. Well, probably. And two, I didn't want to lose any kind of integrity with the backside. It's just a little thicker metal that's been bolted together for 100 million years. So that's why I did that. It's got these fender braces in here, so I'm gonna try to either leave those or I might have to lap them off, I'm not sure. Just after walking over and looking at the nose of this thing, I am probably gonna have to cut these off to fit the radiator in there. I also might have to do something with this area here, cut a little more out there because that's where the frame rails are gonna come into, and then the radiator is gonna sit inside those frame rails. So these guys will eventually be cut off. I'm gonna leave them for now just because with wind and such, I don't, yeah, had that happen. With wind and such, I don't want it to destroy this at all. So, well, it's just sitting out here with no support. So I'm gonna keep whatever I can in there, and then I'll cut that off when I'm there. Okay guys, so I got that done. I ran into a little conundrum. I needed to get the clutch in and a couple other things before I can mount this, just so I have extra room. I don't want to put this on and then have to take it off a bunch. I kind of just want to put it on and be done with it. So that'll probably be in the next episode when we're finishing this. However, all right, moving on to the clutch. So I got the door on the side because it looks awesome. So the clutch, we built a hydraulic clutch kind of dealio mabobber. Just show you guys, this is where it comes through. It connects to the pedal through there. It's got the hydraulic line here with the reservoir that'll be mounted somewhere up there. It comes down, it's mounted to this rectangle tubing, just tacked to the frame right now. We'll permanently weld it on here in a bit. It has a rod that pushes this. Initially we mounted it wrong. I still got to pull it out and adjust it, but it should work. It'll give it enough pressure to move the clutch fork so that I can shift, which is important when you're driving and driving fast. So that's done. So now we got to get to the party in the back. Mullet reference. I'll show you guys what I'm going to do with that. So I've been collecting plates for years. Obviously I live in Washington. These are all old plates off vehicles from like 2012. That's not that old. That's 2001. But I have these out-of-state plates, old school Washington plate, old school Cali plate, Idaho plate. These I'm going to make a spoiler out of. You might think, well, that's dumb. That's going to look stupid. I tested it. It should look pretty cool. We're going to work on it. I'm going to try to get that built. Trying to come up with some out-of-state and other plates. So my buddy's going to grab some from his house and we'll get to building. right, guys, I kind of came up with something cool. I don't know if it popped into my brain or if I just, okay. Or if I saw it somewhere, but I thought of it and it turned out cool. I'll show it to you. There is the spoiler. It's obviously taped on right now. It's aluminum, right? Aluminum's light, downforce, you know, those high bank corners at Daytona when we take this thing out there. No, it's not going to go very fast. It's not going to Daytona. But yeah, that's it right there. I mean, it looks pretty cool to me. It fits kind of the theme, the race car theme. You can see it's got the tilt back there. Kind of tried to model it after a more modern NAS truck. But yeah, pop riveted on. I just put like metal, just some strips of sheet metal, pop riveted on. From behind, it just looks like a pop riveted on piece of aluminum, but then you look from the other side, obviously it's license plates. I am going to run bracing. I'm going to tack bracing from here down to here just to keep it from, because this, I got to hold it on somehow, and I'll build some bracket here too. I'll figure something out. You guys will see it. All right, guys, I've said this before, but what is going on there? Oh yeah, I had stuff in my hair. Anyways, like I've said 100 times before, maybe like 4 times before, if you get bored doing boring stuff, such as like a clutch setup or something along those lines, it's not exciting, it's not going to woo people, move on to something cool. Take a break, build a spoiler out of license plates. I got a bunch of other cool stuff I want to do with this. I'm just trying my best to get the boring stuff done, mixing in some fun stuff. So I'm going to try to get this mounted in this episode. It's just something fun that I wanted to build. I was super stoked to build it. I don't know where the idea came from, but I'll do my best to get it mounted at least temporarily so it's not held on by masking tape, and then we should be good. So the idea to mount this bad boy is to, well, first show you how I built it. I cut these strips of sheet metal off that guy right there. I can't remember the size, but it's sturdy enough. And then these were some old pieces I had laying around. I drilled holes in it. You can tell I pop riveted it through. This is going to be obviously the top. And it's going to sit like this. The reason I'm not displaying the plates towards the back is because I don't really think you're supposed to have more than one license plate, and having 5 would be frowned upon. So it's going to mount like this with a minor tilt down, kind of like the thumbnail, cut to the thumbnail. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, so it's going to sit about like that. Sorry, I'm one-handed right now with the camera. So I'm going to build a brace. I think something that I can pop rivet into that hole and then somehow connect it here, or do something with the tailgate. It might just connect only to the tailgate, and then it will open with the tailgate, which is sketchy, but gotta make it work. So I'll figure it out. We'll turn time lapse on and we'll see what the finished product ends up being. All right, I got to show you guys this. Now that it's all riveted in, it needs some more bracing, but for now, this is how we're going to leave it. I'll do the bracing in another episode, or just not on film because it's going to be boring to build. Derrick from Vice Grip Garage will be very proud of me on this one, using license plates for aerodynamics. All right, here it is, guys. So it turned out pretty sweet. So it actually filled in perfectly how I just had these two braced with just a piece of sheet metal, so this one didn't flex up like this. And then it filled in perfectly with this thing. So it is a little wobbly on the ends. The middle's pretty solid. But having this metal up here, this is where I'm going to run the braces down to, from here down to the tailgate. I'll just grind a little spot and then just tack weld on these just rods there. I might have to get some thicker rod. I don't know if this is going to do the trick. It might not. We'll see. Turned out pretty cool. Looks definitely rat rod race car-y. There's a fly in my face. There we go. Loving the way it looks. So if you look up NASCAR Truck Series, you'll see that there's spoilers like this and they have braces. I don't know if they have 5. I didn't count. But turned out awesome. I couldn't be more happy. All right, guys. So this is the party in the back I did. It was a cool idea I had. I just made it happen. So, all right. So moving on. I got a couple projects that I've lined up now. I've decided what I'm going to do. We'll hold the fan belt one to the next project. I got some pretty cool stuff lined up to build. I need you guys' help, though. I need you to hit that subscribe button. Do that. That would be awesome. Appreciate it. One last thing. Fly out here. It's driving me bonkers. One last thing. Obviously, I'm not going to make the deadline. The second deadline. It was my birthday, which is in 2 days. Which by the time I post this will be the next day. August 20th, 2022 is the deadline on this, just to get a deadline. However, there's a car show September 6th. It's a Tuesday. It's the whole grand finale for a Tuesday drive-in thing I go to. I'm gonna do my best to get this thing done and ready to go for that. I'll probably just trailer it there. It's a little bit of a drive, so trailer it there, but I'm hoping to drive it in. Gotta get the driveline in, gotta get that clutch linkage done, and then a throttle cable. And I'm pretty much good to drive it, minus like wiring, stuff like that, bolting the doors on. However, all right, guys, like I said earlier, I'll show you guys the cool, awesome hood ornament in the next episode. I'll figure out what I'm gonna do in the next episode when I start filming it. So thank you again for watching. Brand 5 Garage signing off.